Hello everyone, and welcome to the first of what will hopefully be many videos that take an unconventional look at everyday ideas. In this video, I'd like to discuss wants versus needs, or to be more precise, to give a different perspective on wants versus needs. When we're young, we're told we should learn to tell the difference between wants and needs. Later on, we may even hear that we have unlimited and insatiable wants. This view asserts that there is a significant driving force in human behavior that is infinite and incapable of being satisfied. I think we should start to look at human behavior through a different lens. In my view, it is our efforts to meet our needs that are the driver to all human behavior. And I think the idea of wants is a completely unnecessary figment of our imagination. Let us clearly define what needs are. What are needs? Needs are not things. Needs are conditions or states of being that are addressed via actions or things. The work of Chilean economist Manfred Max Neef made clear that there is a difference between needs and how needs are satisfied. As you note the needs that Max Neef identified, you'll notice that none of these are things. They are conditions, which are conditional. Each need requires certain actions or things to be addressed. For more information on Max Neef's work on human needs, I highly recommend checking out the link in the description below. This definition of needs will certainly leave us with a few questions. For instance, what about water? It's a thing, and we need it. Water is one of the things that is required for everyone to satisfy their subsistence need. There are some needs that we as human beings go about meeting in the exact same way because these needs have absolute requirements. Other needs can be met in a variety of ways. Clyde Clucon once said, "Every human is like all other humans, some other humans, and no other humans." I think this quote can be used to illustrate how we go about meeting our needs. We will meet the needs that have very specific requirements in the exact same way everyone else does. We will go about meeting the needs that can be met in a variety of ways, in a way that some other people go about meeting that same need. And the combination of how we go about meeting our different needs will be as unique as we are. But if there are no wants, what is a Ferrari? I would assert that a Ferrari is a mistake. It is an ill-fated and foolhardy attempt to satisfy a need or needs that cannot be met with a material thing. But if there are no wants, why do we do so many things that don't meet our needs? Well, firstly, meeting our needs is a process of discovery and trial and error. While meeting some needs is rather straightforward, others might not be addressed so easily. What works for one person might not work for you, and what works for you now might not work later on. As we learn, discover, and change, the way we go about addressing our needs may change as well. In addition, genuinely addressing our needs requires a great deal of care and attention. In order to thoughtfully address our needs, we need to wonder, we need to examine and reflect. This type of thinking is work and requires time and effort. Most of us are too tired after a long day on the job to provide such effort. If we do not take or have the time to properly consider how to go about addressing our needs, we are bound to make mistakes when we go about trying to satisfy them. And lastly, the consumer culture/economy actively tries to prevent us from genuinely satisfying our needs, and it seeks to prevent us from recognizing when we have satisfied them. This may seem conspiratorial at first, but if you think about it, the consumer culture would cease to exist if we only bought what genuinely met our needs and we stopped trying to meet non-material needs via material things. As Wendell Berry once said, so we can say that the industrial economy's most marketed commodity is satisfaction, and that this commodity, which is repeatedly promised, bought, and paid for, is never delivered. On the other hand, people who have much satisfaction do not need many commodities. So what questions should we ask ourselves? Instead of asking ourselves if something is a want or a need, we should ask, what need am I trying to address with this action or item? And is this action or item a thoughtful, effective, and efficient way to meet this need? Why does all of this matter? Well, I think we embrace the concept of wants at our own peril. The notion of infinite and insatiable wants sets us up for a life of frustration and dissatisfaction. In addition, happiness requires us to focus on our needs and has absolutely no connection to the notion of wants. We'll get to that in the next video. I hope you found something of value in this video. If you would like to hear more ideas like these, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. Until next time.